Good evening, traders. It's Mark here from the Day Trading Room. The time is coming up to 7:30 London time on Monday, the 4th of October, and let's recap what we've been up to today. Interesting day. If any of you read the blog, I did a couple of blog posts over the weekend talking about really. Title of the post was "Can I make money every day?" And I just discussed how Friday was for me. I made some good trades and I didn't make some great trades. I just got my entry and exits. My timing was just a bit off, and so I went on to talk about how historically I have an average of 3 losing days per month, and one of my goals is to try and bring that down to one a month. Um, and also another thing is just to make sure those losing days don't aren't any more than your average winning day. So you're back in the game, but at least the end of the next day, if not the day after that. So that's worth a read. Have a look at that. Just discuss some of the trades I took on Friday. Yeah, I thought I'd do a video for today's action. Interesting day. I hit some milestones in August and September, so I've increased my trading size today from October, but I didn't start it on Friday because it's the end of the week and then that was the first day of October. But I've started it today, and Monday just go in with a cautious look at the market. So we pretty much gapped down about 20 points. We were still within the range of the last few days, so it was nothing exceptional. And one of my hypotheses was the gap fill, but I didn't take it today. I just wanted to wait out the first 10 minutes just to see what happened. So I didn't get on the end of that gap fill. That was one of my ideas, and the other idea was obviously to test the yesterday's low and the overnight low, and then we'd opened up pretty much just in the slight upper part of the overnight range. And so it was going to be interesting to see what happened, if we probed highs and lows of the overnight range. So yeah, we filled the gap. I was starting then to look for a short to perhaps rotate down to halfway or even back to the opening price. But as we pushed so heavily off the open, well, not heavily, but the action was slow and steady off the open. The pullbacks were shallow, and literally the open was the low within a few ticks. So just a little bit cautious that you don't get on the stand in front of a really good opening drive, especially as it's driving still within its range of the past week or so. We know that range we've got was a 10.7, 50, 60 to 10, 800 on the YM futures. So it's well within that, and it could easily drive up there without any problem. So you've got to be a little bit careful standing in front of that. I nearly took a short here as we filled the gap and poked through. I thought, is that the time? But I just held back and thought, let's just wait and see. They're still pushing it. These candles have got a lot of tails on them. Tail. Just leave it. And it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. We pushed up. But I just couldn't resist the short here as we pushed up. Overnight high. I mean, that was a really good push in the first 15 minutes on a Monday, and I'd expect it then to sort of to give out a little bit. And I know there was because of the nature of the way it pushed up, there was a few trap shorts in that. So when this candle popped through here, they were still probably in when it turned to here. But when you got that and it went through overnight high, you could just see it on the tape. It was loads of retail guys getting out. And I just thought, yeah, that'll do me. I'll have some of that, and I got in. It was about 4 ticks off the high. Great little entry for me. That really pleased with that one. And we just started to push down. I got my first scale away as usual, and I actually scaled 3/4 of the position because of the nature of the move. I was aware that there's potentially a cycle back up. First tick pull back to zero. Little first pullback after a good move. There is potential for it to have another try at the high, one more little cycle, maybe double top. So I was ready to get back on with some more. Then we didn't get it. We got a little attempt to push back up, and then it just broke down beautifully. And I came out between the VWAP and the gap, which is around the 50% of the day's range, which is about right really if you're looking for the rotation back into the day's range or opening drive. Then about 50% of the move is a good place to scale. Held a small little batch right up until the data. It just couldn't break through this 60. That was a really key level for it, and ended up closing about 15 seconds before, I think 30 seconds before the data. I never held over the data, so it was all out there, and it was a good little first trade for me. Yeah, I got 19 ticks on the last two scales, 14 ticks. Yeah, so a good little trade for me, that one. Um, and what do we get up to next? Yeah, we got this. The data came out. It was the factory orders and the home sales. Market pushed up, didn't know what it was doing, started to push back down. Really disappointed I didn't get that short that broke through the 10,760 level. That was an absolute gift. Pushed up, failed, and it was such a key. Well, it wasn't a key level in the scheme. Well, it has been a key level in the scheme of things, but in the day's range, it was good. There was a bit of resistance there, and the candles prior to it, there was obviously a buyer there. So I figured there would be a few stops there, but I didn't get on it. I missed that short, so you miss it, you miss it. Nothing to do about that. Yeah, then we started to climb back up into the range, but it was just unconvincing for me. I just thought, okay, look, the lower end of the overnight range is here. Excuse my drawing. The higher end of it is here. We've been trading in the upper half of it. I'd expect it, if it wasn't going to become a trend day, and if we weren't going to take out highs, to come back and at least trade, in the overnight range level. And the 10.6, the 10.720 was a really good level for the overnight. It really struggled at that level, and it was yesterday, Friday's low as well. So that was a good place for the market to push to, and it was about the same distance from the top part to the bottom part of the trade. So that was my idea anyway, but I just couldn't find a good opportunity to get short. I guess in hindsight, this little push up here that failed was probably the best place to go short. But I didn't take that. The volume was just starting to dry off, and I was just looking for a good place to go short. Couldn't find it. I need to be able to quantify my risk. This was interesting. We've got three good candles here, and we pushed back up. But the one that got me in was this candle here. It pushed up, failed, pushed down pretty quickly. We've got a nice low tick reading on that second candle. We've got a good volume, but compared to the past sort of 20 minutes or so, really good, a pretty good volume. And we're just looking to take out this 60 level. I just thought if I can just get a head start on that one, just get in before the 60, I can keep my stop relatively tight if it pushes back up, and ride the break through the 60 and see if I can get some scales out as we push to lows and further on. And it was great. It was timed. I timed that well. It just probed through, and I tightened my stop right up. I thought I'm not going to give this any room, because if this is genuine, and if this is a sell program that's been switched on, or whatever, however you want to look at it, then this should not go back up to the 66 level. So really, it was some three ticks of risk once it had gone in my direction, which is fantastic. I can do that with some good size, and I'll do that all day long. Uh, yeah, great trade for me. That I scaled up pretty quickly actually as we pulsed into here. A couple of contracts. One at 8, one at 6, one at 8, one at 12, one at 17, and then I managed to run the last few for 23, 26, and another go at 26 ticks. So that was a good trade for me. Two good trades on a Monday morning. Pleased with that. You can't ask for much more. Right, quickly as the time is running out, let's run through this very bizarre action that we've had this afternoon, or about 5 o'clock London time. Uh, yeah, we pushed down, and I was out here with my short a while ago, and we're pushing lower, just pushing lower. Couldn't really find another place to go short, so left it. Was looking for the long, looking for the midday long. I like about that midday last little push, and we started to find a bit of support here at the overnight low, which is what we'd expect. We started to roll back up and then started to push back down. Now I was hoping that we'd get a lovely little candle, a nice tail, right on the 5 o'clock level that we push down around to sort of here, double bottom, push straight back up. I could take the long. I knew where my risk was. I could scale out here, and I could ultimately look for back at 50, VWAP and a 50% move of the day. That was what I was looking for. One more little push that failed. But I wasn't expecting what we got. We got a pretty severe push here. I don't know what that was. It was a bizarre bit of action. But yeah, it took out low. I mean, I didn't know at first when I saw that whether I was in two minds whether to go short on the reprice pullback, which you know I like to do, or whether this was a fat finger or what. I couldn't see the currencies going down. I couldn't see oil going down. S&P was going and the Dow was going, so it didn't look like it was global news. The only thing I could think was it broke Tuesday and Thursday's low, so perhaps there were some stop losses in there, and because it was relatively thin as we were going into it, we were doing hardly any contracts. The book might have been thin. Someone slapped in a 4 or 5,000 sell order on the Dow, and we just got that. Anyway, as we pull back up, I was in two minds here. I didn't know what I was thinking. Oh, is this the reprice trade? So I took it. Did take the short, as we pulled back, expecting to push lower, but it just took too long. It took too long for me, and I scaled it out. It did actually go down lower, and I misjudged that one, but I didn't like the fact that it hadn't followed through quickly. I don't expect more than 2 or 3 minutes of pullback. If it's just a genuine bit of news and something that's really hitting the market, then I don't expect to hang around here. I expect it to push the lows really, really quickly. We didn't get that. I scratched that one off for a couple of tick profit. I was sort of torn between, is this the flush? Is this the pullback reprice? I had two sort of setups in my head, and when you've got that and you're taking one, you've got a bit of conflict there. But what we did get on, if I quickly bring the S&P chart into you to show you, as the S&P pushed to lows, we pushed to lows here. We tried again. And when we found out support there, the second time I went long at 11.27 3/4 on the S&P. The only reason I used the S&P is because I was using a limit order and I wanted to put it in. I wanted just to catch that little pull down. Just got it, and I didn't hang around with that. I just took it all out at 129.5. So popped up. That was a quick little trade, and that's the last trade I've done. Again, I was a little bit in two minds whether we were going to roll over, whether we were going to push back up. So that's the way I played that. Yeah, it's been interesting now. If the Dow can close down here below the spike level, it's going to be interesting. There's some levels opened up, and the game might change in October. We might be out of this range. So, good trading, guys. As always, send me an email, put your comments, rate the video. I'd love to hear what you got to think about the video and the blog. Any suggestions? Email me, mark@thedaytradingroom.co.uk. Go and have a look at the blog. www.thedaytradingroom.com. Good trading, and we'll be back soon with another video.